Alright, welcome back for round 3 of Tuesday Night Takedowns here at Jersey's Cards and Comics in the beautiful Hampton, Virginia. In this round, we're featuring Gio using the black sleeves and Blake from round 2 using the orange sleeves. Blake is still playing that PikaRom deck. We didn't allow him to switch. This isn't a regionals. Gio, on the other hand, is going to be playing a Cinderace deck, or as we like to call it, the Haikyuu deck. We'll see some lovely Libro action for volleyball fans out there.
Hey, Lamau. That thing doesn't do problem.
Waiting for. Are we on our own time? Okay.
Yep.
Excuse me.
All right, and you may begin.
Good, bro.
Uh-oh.
Alright, so Blake is going first with that Tapu Koko. Yeah, that's not what you want to start. It's not the worst, but definitely not the best.
At least he already has it out and he doesn't have to skateboard for it.
Right?
4 more times. Blake's definitely want to get that tag bolt as soon as he can. Double custom catcher up, score bunny, tag bolt, knockout, to make sure Gio can't get those score bunnies set up. Cinderace is set up. But if he does, he can two-shot all Blake's tag.
I'm going to go back in.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the position that, Gio can hope that he gets himself in, is that he, swarms the field with all the tricks rabbits this turn. Having, 4 of them on the field would be super duper.
Cinderace is kind of an interesting deck, but for those who don't know, I'm pretty sure that Cinderace has 170 HP.
I believe so.
An ability called Libero. When it moves to the active, you can put 2 fire from the discard onto it.
Yep.
Kind of like a mini welder from the discard.
Yeah.
Or if you played back then Blacksmith. And then the main attack he uses 2 fires for 1.
2 fire colorless.
So you still got to get that attached. Do the ability.
Yeah, some decks, I haven't seen Gio's list tonight, play things like Recycle Energy to make that cost just the 2 fire, and then you use the Recycle to pay the retreat cost, and then you just start cycling between your Libros.
And we don't even know if Gio plays other attackers like Heat Ran, Victini's, whatever.
I think as I was walking around earlier, Gio is just opting to play pure 1-prizers. And so, Blake can close that gap, gain the tag bolt on 2 of them, but, will it get you through the game?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, no.
Meg, you're being loud.
Let this dog go running in my window. Really?
Blake definitely giving some thought. Seems like he's unsure of where he wants
Just going to fail it.
Opting to fail this guy.
Well, yeah, look at the Cinderace. He had 2 Pokemon, 2 energy, and a custom catcher.
Wants to save it for that big tag bolt turn.
Yeah.
Funny enough, I'm pretty sure that the tag bolt doing 170 knocks out Cinderace, so we can do 2 Cinderaces, and then if Gio doesn't have that ordinary rod, then
Pass, buddy.
Yeah, I feel like in a deck like this, though, you have to kind of bank on, some recycling with ordinary rod.
ooh, old school communication, and putting back that Volpix.
Probably we'll see another score bunny come down.
So if Gio needs to, he can bring up Dedenne and get that kill for game.
Mm-hmm. Did you see the Jirachi coming down? That's definitely a fine play.
Yeah, it's an interesting strategy. You're just going to say, hey, I'm going to be a single prize that takes off all your Dedennes. And then if you're the Ashy and I hit weakness.
Right. That's actually what he was playing against last round, was his Zacian deck. He got pretty close just because of the general inconsistencies of being a stage 2. But, he's able to eke it out in the end. Not knowing his list, I'm kind of curious if he has Professor Ohm's lecture to where he can pick up 30 more score bunnies on this turn. Because we see a Marnie. G9 letting Blake cut his 1-card hand before putting on the bottom of the deck, that's rough. As we see Blake's hand, I guess if you had to have 4 cards, those are pretty good 4 cards to have.
In my opinion, he made things better for Blake.
Yeah.
But if Gio had no other choice,
Or you played. Oh, okay, you get Cinderace. Okay,
There's a little confusion there on what was happening, but he caught on pretty quick. Got 2 score bunnies down, one with energy. That's definitely not a bad place to be. One thing that's interesting I saw Gio playing is he plays the Shuckle that sends 3 energy to your discard pile.
So sort of like a battle compressor.
Yeah. So I mean, he'll do kind of like exactly what he wants there.
Looking at that Grimly, I wonder if that has damage has ever added up and made a difference. I guess we can ask him after the match.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of some ideas of how that could have gone down.
Seems like you want all your cards in this card so that you can go Libro.
Well, I mean, 2 is the perfect number because you got the Libro to, get them back, and you don't want to have so many that you don't draw into attachments for turns 2. So I don't think it's the worst.
I haven't Primate Wisdom this turn, have I?
Nope, you're good.
Yep, and I was just wondering about that myself, Gio. Question if you have Primate Wisdom. Yeah, we can help him out here with the ability to use counters here.
Appreciate that.
Sir.
Yeah, man.
So when you flip them, they say ability use. So if you keep it there, you'll know that you didn't use it. Show those lovely TC evolutions counters.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Hashtag go ahead and sponsor us. It's fine.
Please.
So those, 5 cards that Blake had ended up, definitely not hurting him. He has, Dedenne Energy, Electro Power, and then you have that Quick Ball. Definitely not taking off the option of Full Blitz this turn. I think kind of interesting to note is several of the prizes will be easy, but he needs Electro Power for Full Blitz to get knockouts on Cinderace, so that could come back to be difficult.
Doing 160 on a Cinderace also doesn't feel good if it ends up having 170
Yeah.
HP. But if it has 160, then that's perfect. Let's see, double checking up on.
Thank you, Al Gore, for the internet. Everyone, check this out.
Uncommon Pokemon. Absol. Definitely gonna hurt. Hidden. So we do have a picture of the card now.
Checking it out as the turn just kind of takes a slow progression. Yeah, Cinderace has 170 and he hits for 190 with that Flare Striker ability of attack.
So now 190 is going to be able to knock out Zero.
Yeah, so, Geo's path could be really easy, just to Dedenne Zero Aura. But it's unlikely we'll see that Zero Aura hit the field if Blake can help it.
It's interesting that if Blake were to magically get tagged, then he only has 2 score bunnies. Gio only has 2 score bunnies, so it looks like he's kind of susceptible. And if he benches a possible bench bearing Mew, then that's another bench spot taken. You just gotta think how you get your score Cinderace up. That's kind of one of the things that is bad about stage 2s. Having to set them up and manage bench space. For Blake, it's like, whatever, I got my big tag team.
I'm gonna use the stadium now.
Down 2 Dedennes, I got my Tapu Koko, and I got my Absol, that's all I need. And he hits heads on
Both of them.
double heads on the stadium man. Thunder Mountain.
Well, one thing that's kind of interesting that our teammate Rob and I were talking about the other day is coming up in Rebellion Clash or Rebellious Clash, there are going to be stage 1 Pokemon that say if you draw this card for turn, put it onto your bench. I think that's something that's really neat that stage 2s are going to be getting.
Especially with just trying to play ahead.
Yeah.
I wonder if they'll print a Pokemon. I know this is off topic and theorizing, but I wonder if they'll ever print a Pokemon that says you may draw an extra card 4 turns, so that you could prop that fact twice.
I'm wondering if those abilities, because I don't remember the exact word, are going to work with that Nugget supporter or trainer card.
Yeah.
So you get to draw 3 extra cards if you draw the Nugget for your turn.
But does that count as drawing for turn?
I don't know what the cards say off the top of my head. That's why I'm just curious if it would be an interaction that we could see coming up. I mean, not to take away from their game, they're just kind of going through some, generic gameplay moments right now. Blake gained that.
He's got guaranteed full.
Yep, he's got the full blitz because he's able to get into the Thunder Mountain there.
One big problem about Gio's deck is that it seems if he's just focusing on Cinderace, then he can't one-shot this Pika. And if Blake loads up everything on this Pika, he just goes, alright, tag roll, knockout.
It's true.
And then Gio is going to, not having these score bunnies. And then he has to wait a turn to get the rare candies. Like, this is why stage 2s fall behind so much. It's frustrating for players. Just having these big basics tear through.
So just by kind of, back off topic here, going back into the comment about the Nugget with the ability top entry is what it's called. If you draw this card from your deck at the beginning of your turn and there's room on your bench, instead of putting it to your hand, you may play it directly onto your bench. And the way Nuggets work is if you draw it for turn, you discard it, draw 3 cards. So it sounds like it's happening in the right time frame for those 2 cards to kind of synergize together. But, until you see an official translation, you can't say for sure one way or the other. But it could be something interesting that comes up, especially if these top entry stage 1s become a little more common. And of course we need, the stage 2s that'll back up wanting to play that. Yep. So we see the first Cinderace hitting the field there. But we also see Tag Bolt ready to rock and roll.
What are we doing with I'm fine.
I kind of imagine Gio, if he's playing a bench barrier Mew, is going to hope to hit it here so that he only has to sack
Blake's got to read the
one Cinderace. I think Cinderace here is like one of my favorite arts in this set for like the non-GX or non-V Pokemon. Just because he's like cool looking as a soccer player, rugby player, whatever you want to call him.
Well, and Talion's a secret agent, Cinderace is a soccer player, and
Rillaboom's starting a rock band. Takes me back to the college days playing rock band in the house. Gio's not looking too thrilled with his Cynthia there.
We're getting into the problems of stage 2.
I think the best thing that can really happen is Gio can retreat that Shuckle, Libro, swing for 190, but then that Tag Bolt's going to clear off the attackers, and that's just more turns of Gio not being able to do anything.
Like, he has to put down a score bunny.
Pass.
So Blake can get double custom catcher. If Blake can get double custom catcher, it might be all over here.
Yeah, I think like Gio's saving grace is that the Cinderace isn't up in the active. Blake doesn't have the double customs in hand. I mean, he's got this Jirachi. He can look. All he has to do is find the custom or the Volkner, and he'll be fine. But that'd be real bad, real fast. Oh, and there we see the third card being cut. Oh, he got 2 custom catchers just in case.
Just to rub it in.
So I think that Score Bunny and Cinderace going down are going to be, the nail in the coffin for Cinderace here.
I mean, similar. I mean, we've seen stage 2 decks do fine. Like, we saw Charizard a little bit, but the big stage 2 was Goons, Obstagoon. And I think that has similar problems to this. I mean, Obstagoon can easily be in the same situation, especially because it doesn't have an energy acceleration like Libra. And now we just see the huge tag ball. Oh my goodness. Like I was saying, if Gio didn't get that, didn't get a score bunny, now he's in this position.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing is, Gio needs theoretically 4 turns to win the game, and he only has 4.
He does have that one there, but oh my goodness. If you're Gio, what? I'm honestly kind of surprised that he went for the energy and not the score.
Well, I know he got a score bunny and a Cinderace and the fire.
Yeah, it is a little confusing from our perspective.
Yeah.
Gio definitely has a lot of decisions to make. Do you see a game winner for Gio?
You know, if Gio is playing like a clutch Lucario Melmetal and like a welder, just a full metal wall, all the energy off the PikaRom and buy himself a couple Rosa. Yeah, Articuno could do it too. Something that just knocks all the energy off the PikaRom, that feels like the win con right here. And I want to go out on a limb and say it's not happening.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I'm waiting for Gio to just like prove us wrong here.
Oh, quick one.
Is that another Grimsley?
Well, you gotta be careful because
I believe so.
The ultimate spice. That's sick though, dude. I like it.
We definitely are going to ask him after this.
Well, I guess, you know, realistically, if 190, 380 is enough to overkill everything. So being able to move some damage counters onto.
you don't even have him in here.
Doesn't Zacian have 220? Or
Yep, 220.
So, alright. If they put.
Well, if they play Frying Pan, yeah, you're still missing a little bit because the 190 gets reduced down. But maybe it's kind of helpful against like other evolution-based decks to where you can throw some counters around and try to take out like the basics before they evolve up.
Oh, I deleted that game a long time ago.
Let's see.
You're riding a bike. It's the best explanation I
She
got
just
for
goes
you.
ahead and passes again with the shuckle in the active.
But hey, we got 2 score bunnies on the field, and that's, kind of what he needs to do.
Full blitz for knockout.
And Blake's just going with the motions and full blitz, full blitz, full blitz game. I don't really know what else there's left to do.
Yeah.
Try not to get stamped, but even then you're not getting one shot.
So Gio theoretically needed 2 more turns to be able to stay in this game. I don't know, maybe he's got like some crazy Shedinja techs in here to where Blake can't take prizes with the Shedinjas in play.
Oh man.
That would be like the coolest thing I could imagine happening. But I'm good, probably not. Ooh, we do see a giant bomb come down on that score bunny, so
Could this lead up with the math with Grimsley?
it could. I mean,
6,
really, if
10
he
damage
attacks with Cinderace, and again, Blake would have to play like an Electro Power to get the one shot on it, triggering the giant bomb, and he would take the knockout. And that would accelerate the clock a little bit in Gio's favor.
So if you have 10 damage counters, and then Gio moves 2 of them to something else, and then 190 gets knocked out on tap.
Yeah, I mean, that seems like maybe that's where that Grimsley comes in.
Yep, because of Absent.
Yep.
Shaking his head.
I was going to say, kind of like the best thing that could have happened is if Gio
They stay in play, but they have
got the 190 down, and Blake had to swing in and got the knockout. And then all he had was a Raichu, and he attacks with the Raichu, and they double KO each other to cause a draw. That would have been funny. You know, I like inventing imaginative scenarios where crazy stuff happens, but it's probably
Stage
not
2
here.
decks doing stage 2 things. As much as fun stage 2 decks are, this is just what happens. But he was 2-0 leading up to this.
Well, I mean, he did play like his Zacian deck last round, and I think he's playing like his Zacian Luca Metal, so not having to worry about the increased prize trade off of ADP. Because like even in that, if you get ADP Ultra Creation and you just start using Ultimate Ray, so you don't have to worry about the easy one-shots on, you know, your boy Zacian.
Interesting.
So stupid.
I'm so ready to.
These eggs are stupid.
Yeah, they are.
Where's my dad? I'd rather play like.
Looks like the writing is on the wall for Geo, but is there one more fun thing you can do? I have Rosa?
Yeah, there's Rosa.
No.
I want to see Score Bunny get out, or Cinderace take off one big attack.
To hit 240 on Pikarom.
Exactly.
You know, Baby Blake will be a sport and like swing into a giant bomb so Gio can say he took 3 prizes here. That would be, you know, a great display of sportsmanship.
You going second.
He just decides to tingle.
I want to
No, you can't tingle.
They'll do that to me the second.
I want those.
The only time I don't is when I was playing because I don't want them getting it.
There is the giant.
There's the
And
bomb.
there's recycle energy like you
Oh, there's a
mentioned.
switch. Here comes those 2 fires.
So Gio finally gets off his strategy, but like that one prize card. So at least we got to see the combo in action.
Jumping balloon right back. You look right at it. You're like,
So he does get a
it's
swing,
not in
but
here, bro.
obviously.
Yeah, I was like, tag.
And it's a double KO on the PikaRom. It's wonderful. All right, well, thank you for tuning in for round 3. We'll be back with round 4 in a little bit. Again, check us out on social media on Twitter, Facebook. You know, like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the content, and we'll be back with round 4 in a little bit.